Hey y'all, join us today as we travel to Tilley Baptist Church Cemetery, located in the beautiful Blueridge, Georgia mountains. The Tilley Church was established in 1858. This is the first time I've visited this graveyard. This is Polly Long. She was born July 8th, 1818, and passed away July 13th, 1888. She was 70 years old, and she is buried right here next to her dad. Gilbert Falls. He was born June 9th, 1794, and passed away July 14th, 1880. He was 86 years old. This is Dawson L. Garland. He was born July 17th, 1890, and passed away July 17th, 1910. He was only 20 years old. This is J.H. or James Hardin Neal. He was born April 5th, 1865, and passed away July 26, 1918. He was 53 years old. And this is Mary Neal. She was born August 5th, 1864, and passed away August 10th, 1904. She was only 40 years old. This is Martha Brookshire Davis. She was born August 2nd, 1832, and passed away November 1st, 1904. She was only 72 years old. She was the wife of George Davis. And this is George Davis. He was a reverend. He was born March 22nd, 1830, and passed away May 29th, 1918. He was only 88 years old. This is Polly Garland. She was born in 1821 and passed in 1907. She was about 85 or 86 years old. This is Ezekiel Garland. He was born August 4th, 1813, and passed away in 1890. He was about 76 or 77 years old. And this is the grave of Hetty and Ella. They were the infant daughters of I.L. and Mary Garland. Hetty was born and passed on November 19th, 1890. Ella was born October 31st, 1900, and passed away November 30th, 1900. She was only 1 month old. This is Nancy Garland. She was born December 16, 1865, and passed away May 11, 1924. She was only 58 years old. This is Joseph Creamer. He was born July 14, 1961, and passed away February 13, 2002. He was only 40 years old. The inscription says EMC, U.S. Navy, Persian Gulf. And here is a look at the tree that Elizabeth Bradley was hanged from. Local legend calls her the Tilley Witch. Elizabeth Bradley, a Creek Indian witch doctor who was feared by all in the settlement. Legend states that she had 2 daughters, each married into a different family. One was a Tilley and the other was a Stanley. There was a feud between the 2 families, which escalated into a shooting at the church. A Tilley preacher and the sister who was married into the Tilley family were killed. The Tilleys retaliated by sneaking into the Stanley Gap in the dead of night and killed several men while they slept, including the Stanley that married the second daughter. Another tragedy occurred soon after when the Stanley widow passed away during childbirth. At this point, because of the 2 feuding families, Elizabeth Bradley lost both her daughters and a grandchild. Some versions of this story claim that Elizabeth was just angry about the family feud. She cursed both the Tilley and Stanley families, and all babies born to each family thereafter were stillborn. Elizabeth was forced to the tree in the center of the graveyard where she would be hung. Before they dropped her to her death by hanging, she swung her fist and vowed to come back. She was buried facing west, right where her body fell. When the infant mortality rate continued, some believed that Elizabeth had indeed returned, that she inhabited the body of her sister-in-law, Mary Tilley Bradley. She was also hanged, same tree, a year to the day that Elizabeth was hanged. But she was not given a witch's burial, since she was only a vessel for Elizabeth's evil spirit. Plus, she was a Tilley. Some people claim to see Elizabeth Bradley's ghost wander in the graveyard at Tilley Church, while others see Mary Tilley Bradley. Some look for someone named Polly Long, who is not considered a witch. Supposedly, if people call for Polly Long around the church, they will hear a scream and see a light coming towards them. A boy named Keith Stanley is said to wander around, wanting to tell his tale to the guest. If he appears, the witches are said to grab at visitors' legs to try to pull them underground. Some people claim to feel a pulling sensation on their legs. Most people claim that they only see these ghostly apparitions in the daylight hours. Some claim to hear babies crying while walking around the property. Do you think Elizabeth was an evil witch, or was she just a grief-stricken mother who said things out of pain?